fight is going to come down to heart.
Manny's an aggressive person. He got punches coming from every angle. But Mayweather, he's an artist.
Mayweather's the champion.
I'm going with Team Pac, man.
Mayweather, 7th round, knockout.
It's always about the money.
Never discount Manny's ability.
Mayweather's gonna win.
Pacquiao.
It's money, man.
Anything could happen.
The biggest fight of all time.
It's gonna be a great fight.
Bah!
You're looking at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. We are in the fight capital of the world. In just 3 days, two of the biggest stars in boxing will step inside the ring for what many are calling the Super Bowl of boxing. Live look now at the Cobb Theater here at the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino. This is the final press conference for Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Custer alongside Kieran Mulvaney. In just a few moments, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, along with their camps, will step here on the stage and speak to the media for the last time before their big showdown comes your way on pay-per-view on Saturday. You know, Kieran, we were there for the first press conference that came your way in Los Angeles, and I got to be honest, both of the fighters seemed somewhat subdued when they talked about fighting each other and this fight. What are you expecting today?
Well, yeah, I think you're exactly right. As we talked about at the time, even though both these guys have been in the biggest of fights, this is something else entirely, and the gravity, the immensity of it clearly seemed to weigh on them. Since then, they've followed slightly different paths. Manny Pacquiao seems like he's really enjoying himself. He's confident. Floyd Mayweather similarly confident, but with a degree of intensity about him. All business, Floyd, and I'm sure we'll see that today.
Well, we have seen media from all over the world around here in Las Vegas. Everywhere you walk, everywhere you look, there's signage. You see Floyd Mayweather, you see Manny Pacquiao on all kind of buildings here. They're expecting this to be the richest and the biggest revenues basically boxing match in the history. Some believe upwards of $400 million that this fight will generate. Floyd Mayweather expected to take home $180 million. Manny Pacquiao, $80 million and above. When you think about some of those numbers, it's mind-boggling.
It really is. And obviously, both these guys have come from poverty, but Manny Pacquiao especially, we were talking to him at his media day at the Wildcard Gym in Hollywood, and he was talking about how when he was a kid, he would fight in these quasi-legal fights. He'd win $2, and he'd use that to go and buy a bag of rice for the family, and his mom would want to know where he got the money from. He was fighting for $2, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. And here he is now in the richest fight in boxing history.
Yeah, he can buy a whole lot of bags of rice for the payday he's taking home. Again, they are expecting this to be record numbers, especially when you talk about pay-per-view numbers and when you talk about some of the top fights in the history of boxing. Hey, Floyd Mayweather's right there at 1 and 2. We all remember his fight with Oscar De La Hoya. It was the richest, 2.4 million pay-per-view buys. And then right behind that was when he fought Canelo Alvarez. That generated 2.2. There are many who believe that this fight will generate well over 3 million pay-per-view buys. Some think 3.5. Some also believe it could reach 4 million. What do you think?
You know, I think those of us who are involved in boxing, even though we know that it's going to be huge, we might actually be slightly underestimating just how enormous this is in the public arena. For 5 years, this is the only fight that people have been talking about. Like you said, there's signage for this fight everywhere. There's commercials for it everywhere. ESPN had live coverage of Manny Pacquiao's bus going from Los Angeles to Las Vegas the other day. This is enormous. I think this will blow past any figures that we've been expecting.
And we've got to talk a little bit about the fight because I know you get this question as much as I do. Everyone wants to know, how will this fight play out? And if styles makes fights, do you think that both of these fighters equal an explosive bout come Saturday night?
I think it's more of an explosive bout potentially than it would have been 5 years ago. I think there's a lot of respect here. The first round, maybe the first couple rounds, it's going to be that intensity, both guys feeling each other out, looking for that opportunity to land something. Then at some point, someone's going to get hit, someone's going to land a punch, then a fight's going to break out.
And I think a lot of people are expecting that. And again, Floyd Mayweather has faced 8 southpaws. Manny Pacquiao, I mean, obviously, you look at the number of people he's faced. So this should be one exciting fight. There have been media members from all over the world here. Many believe upwards of 600, members of the media here just to cover this fight. One gentleman who has covered this fight exclusively for Sports Illustrated, Greg Bishop. He joins us here now. And hey, Greg, talk to me. In your estimation, you've been here for a little bit now. Has this fight lived up to the hype to this point?
I think absolutely. I've never really seen anything like it. I think the closest comparable would be maybe a Super Bowl, but then you consider that this is just about 2 guys and just about one night, and there seems like 1 million reporters around, and it's been pretty crazy.
Obviously, Sports Illustrated, more than used to huge sporting events. How has it been in terms of how they've approached it? They've sent you out here I think you've been here for a month or so in Las Vegas.
I've been here for a month, which is about a month too long, I think, for anybody to be in Las Vegas. This week we have a double cover. Floyd's on the front, Manny's on the back. They typically don't do that except for the swimsuit issue. So I think that speaks to the indicative nature. We've got 30 pages in the magazine. We've got a hub on SI.com. And so I think that just speaks to just how crazy things have been and what the fight might mean.
You've been embedded basically in both camps. Let's start with Floyd Mayweather. Talk to me about, he seemed really focused for this. We haven't seen a lot of the money persona with him. Whenever you talk to him, he's been direct, right to the point, and it's been all business about this fight, it seems like.
Sure, no, I think Floyd's at a different place in his life now. I think that he's created this character that he's sort of known for with the money and the cars and the lifestyle. And what we've seen in this fight is just a real laser focus on the fight itself. Usually he throws a party for his group, like a team appreciation party. He canceled that this year. He just wants everything to be streamlined and pointed toward the fight. And I think that speaks partly to just him getting up in age and partly to what the fight might mean for him.
What about Manny, conversely? What differences have you seen with him? He seems to be similarly taking this obviously very seriously, very focused. But at the same time, he seems to be really enjoying himself. He seems to be much more relaxed and outgoing than Floyd has been.
He's been way more relaxed. The other day I rode over in his Pacquiao entourage bus from Los Angeles to Vegas, and he was just so relaxed. He went on there, he's talking to everyone, he's making jokes, he's like making fun of Boo Boy and the size of his stomach, and I think that speaks to his mindset and how into this fight he is.
A lot of people want to know, do you see this as an all-action fight Saturday?
I hope that, I think that ultimately Floyd will win by decision, but I think that what makes the fight so intriguing is that Manny has a style in which we think he can get in and pressure Floyd. Everybody says that when they fight Floyd Mayweather, but I think Manny might be the one that can do it, and to me that's the most interesting part of the style matchup.
It seems like for Manny, he's not only got to dictate the pace, but sustain it. And it seems like some guys haven't been able to sustain it against Floyd.
I think that's the hardest thing. Everybody who steps in the ring with Floyd says, I'm going to pressure him, I'm going to get to him, I'm going to be the one to rough him up a little bit. And then they get in there and he's dodging and ducking and darting, and it just doesn't happen. What makes this intriguing is, I think if one guy can do it, it's Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, far too many fighters, we've seen them, as you said, they go in with a good game plan, or at least a game plan. They end up being hypnotized, realizing that they can't hit him cleanly. He's going to hit them back. I think the thing with Manny Pacquiao is there's the expectation that that's not going to happen to him, right? If he gets frustrated, he'll bang his fists together and he'll go right back at him again.
I think that's the expectation with him for sure. I think he's looking at this fight as a time when he can pressure Floyd, when he can do to Floyd what no one's done before. And I think it'll be really interesting to watch it play out in the ring.
Lastly, where do you go from here? When you're Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and you fought each other, where do you go from here? We know Floyd has one more fight on Showtime, and Manny obviously wants to continue. Where do you go after this?
Personally, I think they have to fight again, no matter what happens. And I know the camps both say they're not going to, and everybody says that they're not going to do all this again because it's been sort of a headache on a lot of different levels. But I think it would be hard to go from this fight to an Amir Khan fight or whatever. I think you almost got to strap it up and do it one more time.
Greg Bishop from Sports Illustrated, you've been doing great work. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Well, both fighters have basically now entered the venue, so we're getting ready to start this press conference. And is there anything that you think you want to hear that maybe you haven't heard from either one of these fighters here coming up, Kieran?
I'm not entirely sure. I think it'll be interesting to see. Floyd has traditionally used his final pre-fight press conferences for a little bit of gamesmanship to try and get in the other guy's head just a little bit. He hasn't done any of that so far. Will he do that this time? Will he just show up? Will he just be subdued again and quiet and focused? What will Manny Pacquiao be like? Will he be smiling? Will he be happy? He's been strangely confident in his predictions. Is he going to do that at this press conference? I'm kind of keen to see what the body language is.
Yeah, and then of course the only thing that we have left after this press conference is of course the both of these fighters will weigh in, and then of course it's the fight, and both sides say they'll probably do just a little workout here for the next couple of days, but both believe that they're ready, ready to fight. If it was happening right now, both sides said, hey, we could fight right now. That's how in great of shape it seems like both camps are.
It's been 5.5 years. They better be ready. They're not ready now. It's a little bit too late.
All right, again, this press conference is getting ready to start here in just a few moments. Floyd Mayweather is here. Manny Pacquiao is here. You're going to also hear from Freddie Roach, a gentleman who has been if there's been one person who has been outspoken, it's been Freddie Roach. I mean, he has been like the verbose one, it seems like, from either side.
Freddie's been having the time of his life. I think this is a wonderful opportunity. Look, journalists love Freddie. He always gives them a good quote. And there have been so many journalists asking for a quote. He's in hog heaven. And he's certainly been extraordinarily confident, talking about recognizing that Floyd Mayweather is a very difficult challenge, but also saying very clearly he spent 5 years studying Floyd, and his guy knows how to beat him. Yeah, and on the opposite side, Floyd Mayweather Sr. has been just as vocal in his returns here to Freddie Roach and some of the things that he has said. And look, Freddie Roach is very confident. He thinks that he has the game plan to finally beat Floyd Mayweather. I guess we're going to find out on Saturday. Hey, Manny Pacquiao is the only 8 division, basically world champion. So you've got a fighter here who's fast, who's explosive, and if there's one person many believe that could beat Floyd Mayweather, there are a lot of people who think it could be Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, and Manny Pacquiao, even with all his experience, even with his championships, he comes in here as the underdog, and he says he loves to be in as the underdog. That gives him the opportunity, to really dig deep, to come out, prove people wrong, and that seems to be part of the reason. If you are to believe Manny, and you have to believe Freddie, that's part of the reason why they're so relaxed coming into this fight, because it's as if they almost have nothing to lose. They do, of course, have an awful lot to lose, but they're somewhat expected to come out second in this fight. Obviously, motivation's huge, not only for Manny Pacquiao, but then on the other side with Floyd Mayweather. I mean, this is a gentleman who believes, hey, look, I haven't been ducking him for 5 years. I've wanted this fight as much as he has, and I think he wants to show that, I think, come Saturday night as well on his side. He wants to make a very, very, I think, dominant statement. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be enough for him to do to put on a defensive performance, to bore people, to jab his way to victory. I think he really does want to try and walk Manny Pacquiao down, to look impressive. He's talked about stopping Manny Pacquiao. He says he's excited about the fact that in Pacquiao he's facing a guy who's smaller than him, that he hasn't been doing very much lately, and that makes him very confident. He has the height advantage. He has that reach advantage. Maybe he has nowadays one punch advantage. I think for him, yeah, he wants to beat Manny Pacquiao, obviously. That's very important to him, but I do genuinely think he wants to beat him impressively. And and I think that's a key point, and it's not one I think a lot of people have brought out, that this is the first time in a long time that Floyd Mayweather is going into the fight as the bigger guy. Right. And not only the bigger man, but the longer reach. And let's see if he uses that to try to push Manny Pacquiao back, because one thing that we've always seen with Manny Pacquiao, he's comes forward. We've never really seen Manny Pacquiao fight on that back foot, and if Floyd Mayweather comes out and says, okay, I'm going to dictate the pace, I'm going to try to push you back, it'll be interesting to see how Manny responds to that, because we've never really seen him fight on that back foot. Exactly, and I think one of the reasons he may have to do that is what has been his strength for so long, in terms of showing his opponent that shoulder, moving into the corner, daring them to hit him. That's not going to work as well against Manny Pacquiao. In fact, it might be the worst style that he can deploy against Manny Pacquiao. He's going to have to do something different, and the thing with Floyd is, as well as being an incredible athlete, as well as being a superbly trained boxer, he's really, really smart in the ring. He's going to know what he has to do. He knows he's going to have to go to a plan B or a plan C, and I'm sure he's already figured that out. Yeah, and that's the beauty, especially when you have two of the best boxers in the world, to see how they adapt and change. Other guys haven't been able to do it. It's almost going to be interesting to see who can impose their will in this fight, and then who can adapt, who can go to plan B and be just as successful. Exactly. Mentally, these guys are both really, really strong. They've been there. They've seen it. They've done it. They've been champions for a long, long, long time. They've studied each other for a long, long, long time, too. I think they both feel, part of the reason that they're both confident is not because they're underestimating the other guy, but because they've studied each other. They feel like they know each other inside and out. And each guy desperately wants to be able to impose himself on the other. It's really a question of who simply physically, tactically, in terms of skill, is going to be able to go to the plan B or C that they know they're going to want to have. Salient point, because, Manny Pacquiao was very honest and upfront. He said, hey, look, I certainly looked at tape on Floyd Mayweather because I want this fight very much. And Floyd's always been one who said, look, I don't look at tape on people. You hear the crowd join. Floyd Mayweather has just now walked onto the stage. Manny Pacquiao is just now walking on the stage, taking his seat. So I think all the fighters are here. The only thing left is to get this press conference started. So let's turn things over to the CEO of Mayweather Promotions. Here's Leonard Ellerby.
We are finally here. Mayweather versus Pacquiao, the biggest fight in the history of the sport, the fight of the century. I want to thank the MGM and the beautiful Cobb Theater for hosting the final press conference. The worldwide attention and interest in this event has been unbelievable, and Floyd and Manny deserve all the credit. This event is promoted by Mayweather Promotions and Top Rank Incorporated. Las Vegas is our home, and the Nevada State Athletic Commission has been great to work with, not just only on this fight, but on all the events we have had in the past, and we want to thank them for their support. It is my pleasure to introduce none other than Bob Bennett, the Executive Director of the Nevada State Athletic Commissioner.
You don't look like Bennett.
I'm not Mr. Bennett. I'm sorry if you were waiting for him. But given all the press he's gotten as our executive director, I think he's a little busy right now, so I appreciate what Mr. Bennett's done. My name is Francisco Aguilar. I'm the chairman of the Nevada Athletic Commission. Good afternoon. It's a privilege and honor for the state of Nevada to host and regulate a fight of this magnitude. Our commission and our executive director, Mr. Bennett, have done an amazing job of vetting and selecting the officials for Saturday. The officials have worked their entire career to ensure they are prepared for any fight. They have studied, they have trained, and they have proven they can do the job. As regulators, we embrace the opportunity and take the responsibility extremely serious. Let me be clear, we are ready. Thank you to Mr. Mayweather, thank you to Mr. Ellerby of Mayweather Promotions, and to Mr. Aram and Mr. DeBuff of Top Rank for hosting the upcoming fight in Las Vegas, Nevada, the fight capital of the world. We appreciate Showtime and HBO for promoting our great city to the world. Another thank you is to the MGM and Mr. Sturm. I hope as I continue to grow up, I'm able to maintain a calmness through chaos that Mr. Sturm has displayed through the last few months. Thank you, Mr. Sturm. We'd not be here today without two of the greatest athletes in the world. So, Mr. Mayweather, Mr. Pacquiao, best of luck to you. Thank you for what you do for our sport. See you Saturday.
Now I'd like to introduce our co-promoter, none other than legendary Hall of Fame promoter, Bob Aram.
Thank you, Leonard. And as I've said to everyone, you're a real gentleman, and I mean that to the bottom of my heart. And it was a pleasure working with you to the extent that we were able on this promotion. This is a great, great promotion, two great fighters. It is wonderful for the sport of boxing. And indeed, I hope that this sport will help elevate the rest of boxing. I think based on the interest in this fight, there has been an increased interest in boxing as a whole, and that's great. I'd like to thank Lucia McKelvey, the marketing director of Top Rank, who has secured for the event so many of the sponsorships. Principally, and we'll hear from them in a few minutes, Tecate Concarta, Paramount Pictures and Skydance Productions, Terminator Genesis, Paramount Pictures and Skydance Productions, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, the Weinstein Company, the new movie Southpaw in theaters everywhere, July 24, Mexico Tourism, Mexico Live It to Believe It, and Smart Communications of the Philippines. This is an outstanding array of sponsors, and they have helped finance this event in record amounts. I also want to thank Lucia for securing great sponsorships for our hero Manny Pacquiao, namely Foot Locker, Nike, Wonderful Pistachio, Nestle, Butterfinger Cup, and a surprise sponsor that will be revealed in the next 2 days and will knock everybody's socks off. But now, I'd like to introduce, representing our principal sponsor, Tecate, which, as you know, has supported our top-ranked boxing program for over the years. They're great, great friends. And representing Tecate is a gentleman from the parent company, Heineken of Mexico. Please welcome Franco Maggi. Franco?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a true honor and privilege to be here this afternoon, representing Tecate, in fact representing Tecate for Mexico and for the United States. It is truly, truly an exciting moment for Tecate. It's an exciting moment for the company. Also personally, it's an exciting moment being here, so close to so much talent, so much character, so much strength. Many times we have been asked why we wanted to be part of this. The reason is very simple. This is history in the making, and we want to be part of history. With Tecate, we want to be the most recognized brand connected with box. Of course, we also want to be part of the future. So herewith, I also want to strengthen and reconfirm our commitment for the growth and the development of box in the United States, in Mexico, and worldwide. Of course, we hope that all our consumers, all our people that enjoy our product will taste the triumph and will definitely enjoy the evening that it's about to come on Saturday night. I personally want to sincerely thank Mr. Mayweather, Mr. Pacquiao, wishing them really the best of luck. And I want to thank everybody involved, Todd, Bob, Lucia, and everybody involved also, Mauricio and Bruce, to really allowing us to be part of this. And also for our consumers in Mexico, I would like also to close with a final statement, never forgetting that this is the great opportunity to watch box in the case, te hace falta ver más box. Thank you.
As we know, Floyd Mayweather is the champion recognized by two of the major organizations, the WBC and the WBA. Manny Pacquiao is the welterweight champion recognized by the WBO, and we have here the president of the World Boxing Organization, Francisco Paco Valcarcel.
Thank you, Bob. And when I was in my way to the theater, a young boxing fan asked me in Spanish, Mr. Paco, who's going to win this fight? My answer was that boxing is uncertain. In boxing, anything can happen. And at the end, the winner will be the boxing world and the boxing fan. Thank you.
Las Vegas has a rich history of hosting the biggest and best fights in the history of the sport. Over the years, Floyd has made the MGM his home away from home. This will be Floyd's 11th consecutive fight at the MGM and 14th time he will fight there in his career, and thanks in large part to Richard Stern. Next up to the podium, a very, very dear friend, none other than Richard Stern, the president of the MGM Resorts International.
Thank you, Leonard. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It is an honor for the MGM Resorts family to host this highly anticipated fight of the century. Sports fans worldwide will have the unique opportunity of witnessing boxing's top champions, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, as they go toe-to-toe inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena. The excitement of this event will resonate throughout our MGM Resorts properties and the entire Las Vegas community. We have created additional programming at our resorts, including closed-circuit viewing that will give guests the chance to experience the energy of this great championship fight. This, coupled with our unparalleled dining, nightlife, and entertainment options, will deliver on our commitment of creating an unforgettable weekend for our guests. We'd like to give a special thanks to all the teams, Al Heyman and his staff, Mayweather Promotions, Top Rank, Showtime, and HBO, as well as Bob Bennett and Cisco Aguilar of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you Saturday.
As you all know, Top Rank is and has been for many years associated with HBO, presenting many fights on HBO. Manny Pacquiao has been associated with HBO for many years. One thing is beyond controversy. HBO is the #1 premium pay channel in the world, and it's soon to become the #1 pay streaming channel with the launch of HBO Now. It's a great, great honor for us, Manny, myself, Top Rank, Todd, to be associated with HBO. HBO's programs are beyond compare, whether they're dramas or comedies or documentaries. They win prizes year after year. And in sports, HBO puts on the best and most important matches. Look what they've been doing the last couple of weeks. April 18th, Ruslan Provodnikov against Matisse, probably going to be the fight of the year for 2015, if this one doesn't surpass it. Same card, Terence Crawford, Thomas Delorme. Great high rating, great viewership. And last Saturday, they put on a heavyweight championship, Vladimir Klitschko against Jennings, which got the highest rating for any cable boxing show in the last 3 years. And May 9th, after we go through this great weekend of this great fight, another barn burner HBO will put on, Canelo Alvarez against James Kirkland. It goes on and on and on. And here representing HBO Sports is its president. Please welcome Ken Hirschman.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. On behalf of everyone at HBO, we're honored to be participating in this historic event. We're thrilled that fight fans are finally getting their wish Saturday night. Since the moment the fight was announced, our talented team has been working tirelessly with everyone associated with this marquee event to give this the look and feel of the biggest Super Bowl in boxing history, and I think we've succeeded. To Manny and Floyd, thank you for the sport and for the world of boxing. We really owe a deep debt of gratitude to both of you for taking this historic challenge. I also want to take a minute to thank the boxing press for their support, not only of this event, which I think it's easy to come and cover, but for all the events, the ones that Bob just mentioned and the ones we have coming up in the future. Without you, this sport would not be what it is today. I also want to take a moment to thank the extraordinary team that I have at HBO. As Bob mentioned, we've had a historic, fervent run of tremendous boxing, and we're continuing after May 2nd. From April 18th to April 25th to Saturday night, to May 9th with Canelo and Kirkland, to May 16th with Golovkin and Chuck Latito, June with Cotto, June with Tim Bradley and Felix Verdejo. The list goes on. Our team is out there on the road, away from their families, dedicating everything they have to producing world-class boxing, and I'm very proud to be associated with them. The journey to this fight has been a remarkable one, and in addition to the great writing and reporting that you all are doing, there's been terrific programs that fight fans can enjoy and bring them closer to this event. On HBO Go, HBO On Demand, HBO Now, as Bob mentioned, you can see a full slate of programming. We have a mini marathon of Manny's best fights. We also have our compelling documentary stories, which you can enjoy on those platforms. Mayweather Pacquiao at Last, and our latest show, Mayweather Pacquiao, The Legends Speak, which debuted this past Saturday night after the Klitschko fight. Sports fans should also note two specials that HBO and Showtime are collaborating on to bring to the viewers, to bring them inside the velvet rope. The first one is the Weigh-In Live, Mayweather Pacquiao, airing Friday at 5:30 Eastern Time. And the second is Saturday, 8 p.m., leading into the pay-per-view on both networks, Countdown Live, Mayweather Pacquiao, an hour-long special that gives up-to-the-minute updates, interviews, and a look at the red carpet around this historic event. One important note I'd like to remind everybody, please order pay-per-view Saturday night early, or if possible today and tomorrow. We expect that the ordering systems of the cable and satellite and telco platforms will be overwhelmed, and we want to make sure that everybody gets their order in and gets to be a part of this event. The second is we have two undercard events, and we go on the air at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and no one knows how long those events will go, and we want to make sure no one misses a minute of the main event. The night could move quickly, so we just want to make sure that fans are aware that this, to tune in early, and make sure you don't miss a minute of this event. Lastly, I just want to say thank you again to everybody. We're excited, we're proud, and we can't wait for Saturday night. Thank you very much.
Bob, but there's only one thing. Showtime has the biggest star in sports and the best fighter in the world. This is Floyd's 5th fight with Showtime, and we've loved working with every moment that we work with Showtime and their staff. Steven Espinosa and his team has brought us some of the biggest moments in Floyd's career and to the fans, and Saturday night will be no exception. So without further ado, please welcome Steven Espinosa, Executive Vice President and General Manager of Showtime Sports.
On behalf of Showtime and Showtime Pay-Per-View, we are thrilled to be back here at MGM Grand. Over the past 3 years, Showtime and Showtime Pay-Per-View have televised more events from the MGM Grand Garden Arena than from any other venue. And that's no coincidence. It's a first-class venue with first-class people. And I'd like to personally thank Bill Hornbuckle, Jim Murin, and Richard Sturm for their hospitality and generosity throughout this trip. And in particular, Richard, who, as Cisco has observed, remains a gentleman in the most trying of circumstances, and we do appreciate that. A funny thing often happens on events this big. With all the hoopla, the crowds, the big business, the promotion, Sometimes we forget why we're here. Sometimes we forget what this event is all about. So for all the talk about networks and shows and documentaries and dramas and series, this isn't about networks. This isn't about a bunch of guys in suits in New York City. This isn't about promoters. This is about two world-class athletes, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, who have been working for weeks and weeks, all of their lives really, to get to this precise moment. These two guys are the ones who have literally worked their entire lives, thousands of hours to get to this point, run hundreds, if not thousands of miles, thrown hundreds of thousands of punches, all to get to this very moment. No one did that for them. No network, no promoter, no manager, no executive. No one else can take credit for that. Don't get me wrong. Floyd and Manny have great teams. Floyd will be the first one to tell you that his team deserves much of the credit for his success and that he wouldn't do it without them. And I've heard Manny say very similar things. But no one goes out and runs 8 miles in the middle of the night for Floyd. Floyd does that. No one shows up at the gym and trains for Floyd. Floyd does that. And most importantly, when the bell rings on Saturday night, no one is going to fight for Floyd. Floyd will do that alone. In many ways, boxing is the most solitary sport. Training, sparring, the bout itself, all done individually. But what makes this event so special, so historic, is that we have two once-in-a-generation athletes, two individuals who will be meeting in the ring in about 72 hours. What makes all of us at Showtime and CBS so proud and so excited is that we have been given the opportunity to be part of such a grand and highly anticipated event, and that we can help share this event, this unique experience, with television viewers around the world. Along the way, we're also sharing some of the journey, of course. Just a small note of correction, Weigh In Live will be airing on Friday on both HBO and Showtime. That is at 3 p.m., 6 Eastern, not 5:30. Third episode of our preview series, Inside Mayweather versus Pacquiao, premieres on Showtime tonight, 9 p.m., also available on our website, show.com, and Showtime Anytime, CBS Network, and many other outlets. We'll see you Saturday night.
This next gentleman I'm about to introduce, we've had a long-lasting relationship with this organization, the WBC. Floyd won his first title October the 3rd, 1998 with this organization. Without further ado, I'd like to bring up to the podium none other than Mauricio Suleiman, president of the WBC.
Good afternoon, muy buenas tardes. I am very, very honored to be standing here representing my father, José Suleiman. He loved for so long Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. They were champions of the WBC 17 years ago in the flyweight and the super featherweight division, and they have represented their country. They have represented boxing in the most important way that anyone could imagine. I am very proud and thankful for HBO and Showtime, for Top Rank and Mayweather Promotions, for the managers, the boxers, the organizations, to work together to make this what the fans have been waiting for, to make the fight a reality. It is a fact that both fighters will be remembered for what happens May the 2nd. They're fighting for eternity, they're fighting for the pride, and it's been just a long time waiting for this fight to happen. And we could write so many books of anecdotes of what has happened in these 2 months. I would like to congratulate the staff of both promotions. They have been working under so many pressing matters, pressing times to make it happen, and I'm just very, very proud. The WBC created a special belt, which is called the Emerald Belt. The fight is for the WBC, WBA, and WBO championships, and this belt is just a beautiful, handmade 3,000 emerald belt, which the winner will take home. And I'm just very happy that the WBC can provide the emerald belt to celebrate this, which is one of the greatest fights in the history of boxing. God bless Manny, God bless Floyd, and I hope that May the 2nd will be the beginning of a new golden era for boxing. Thank you so very much. Manny.
Now I'd like to introduce to you the team Pacquiao, two of the principal members of the team. Michael Kahns, Manny's advisor, and of course, everybody's favorite, the trainer of the year virtually every year, Freddie Roach. So first I'd like to, and look who's sitting there. The man who has become one of my dearest friends. Remember when I didn't know his name, right? I know it now. You want to say something? He's the former governor in the Philippines. He's Manny's dearest friend and supporter. He's a great, great guy. I'll attest to it because I visited the Philippines now many times. He's become a very good friend of mine. Please welcome Governor Schaub Singson.
Distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Bob, for this opportunity to thank each and every one of you, especially the media, MGM, Mr. Mayweather Promotion, Bob Arum, SHOWTIME, and HBO, and everybody. Without all of you, we'll not be here today. Thank you so much.
For this event, I've spent a lot of time in Los Angeles watching Manny train, and more importantly, watching Freddie teach. It's a wonderful experience to see two guys on the same wavelength, planning a fight, planning strategy, and working it out in the ring. When people say Freddie Roach is the greatest trainer of our time, I second that. He is terrific, he's great with fighters, and he can really improve the way any fighter comports himself in the ring. So please welcome Trainer of the Year, Freddie Roach.
Thank you, Bob. I'd like to thank Team Pacquiao for all the work that we've done together. It's just not me. We have a good team. We've put together a great strategy, and we're ready for the biggest fight of our life. This is big. This has never been. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Floyd, I'd like to wish you the best of luck. Manny, you best of luck, and best man will win. Thank you.
Before I introduce Manny, I would be remiss not to say that I want to thank, on behalf of the Pacquiao team, Top Rank, the people at the Mandalay Bay. They have demonstrated tremendous hospitality to us. They've opened their arms to Manny for this fight, as they've done in previous fights. It's a great, great place for Manny to have his camp, to stay at the Mandalay Bay. I want to thank the COO and President Chuck Bowling for being such a gracious host. And I want everybody to know how comfortable we are at the Mandalay Bay. No, I mean that. I mean that. You know, a Mandalay Bay is not like it's an outside hotel. It's part of the MGM. So the MGM should take pride in us praising Mandalay Bay. Now, I usually don't agree with much of what Stephen Espinosa says, as you know. But when he says that this event is not about promoters, it's not about networks, it's about the two fighters, that is absolutely the case. None of you would be here today. The world wouldn't be so excited if they hadn't focused on the two men and the character of the two men. Over the years, they've gotten to know these two great fighters, and that has accounted for the tremendous response that we're getting, not only in the United States, but all over the world. The pay-per-view in the United Kingdom, in Germany, is going to be off the charts, as well as it will be here. And that's not because of me, certainly, and it's not because of Stephen Espinosa, or Ken Hirschman, or Les Moonves, or Richard Plepler. It's because of Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao means so much to people around the world. We know what he means to the Filipino people, whether they live in the United States or in the Mideast or in Hong Kong and Macau and in the Philippines. He is the national pride. He represents this proud people in a way that is so exemplary that sometimes Manny catches me talking about the Philippines and the Filipino people, and he says that he'll talk to his people in Congress and maybe get me citizenship. But they are a wonderful people, and Manny is a wonderful person. But look at the notoriety he has all over the world. There was an incident that I was reading last night about 9 people who were arrested in Indonesia for drug trafficking. 8 men and 1 woman. And the woman was a Filipina. And they were all sentenced to be executed. Manny wrote a letter to the president of the Philippines, the president of Indonesia, explaining that he was going to fight on May 2nd, and he appealed to the president of Indonesia to spare this woman's life. Yesterday, 8 of the drug traffickers were executed, but the woman's life was spared. That's the type of influence this man has all over the world. Everybody in Nevada knows that when Senator Reid was running for re-election in his last campaign, he was trailing in the polls. When the week leading up to the election, he called me and asked if Manny could, who was training in LA, could come in to support him. Manny appeared at a rally, galvanized the Filipino and Hispanic community, and Harry Reid, who was trailing by 2 points, ended up winning the election by 4 points. Harry was so grateful that he invited Manny and his wife and the rest of us to the Senate, where a special award was given to Manny on the floor of the United States Senate. And then Manny and Jinky were escorted by Harry to the White House, where he had a meeting with President Obama. It's wonderful for the sport of boxing to have a man who not only is devoted to charity, but is an official, a congressman in his own country, a man who believes it is his obligation to enter politics to help the people of his country. But more than anything, it's a man whose whole life is guided by his innate, tremendous love for God, and who attributes all the success that he's had in life to God. We need more people in the world like Manny Pacquiao, the welterweight champion of the world, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao.
Good afternoon, everybody. First, I would like to thank God for giving us a wonderful day, a beautiful day for us. And I want to thank you to all the sponsor, the promoter, Floyd Mayweather Promotion, Top Rank Promotion, and to all the sponsors and who helped this fight a lot. HBO, SHOWTIME. They're helping a lot for this fight, and I want to thank especially to the HBO for helping me since when I fought here in America. I was remember that my first fight in America here in MGM against Lilo Hanolo Lidwaba. That was 2001, June 23, 2001, undercard with Oscar de la Hoya and Castillejo, and that was a long time ago. And since then, HBO are helping a lot to my career. And thank you to all the media and fans, the press and media, being there always. You know, every fight that I had, promoting the fight, letting the people know that it's going to be a good fight, and all our success and achievements in boxing is, you know, not only for us alone, but including you guys who are part of being success and accomplish what we accomplish in boxing. And thank you. I'd like to invite everyone to witness this Saturday a good fight between Mayweather and Pacquiao. It's going to be a good fight, and there's a lot of a question in your minds that only God can answer us on Saturday. And you know, I just want to let you know that everything that I have accomplished is God who gave me the strength. You know, I just want to be an example and inspiration to everybody how my life before I became a boxer. I used to sleep in the street, you know, starving, hungry, and now I cannot imagine that the Lord raised me in this position and He blessed me these blessings that I cannot imagine, that the boy that don't have food and sleeping in the street, that He raised me this level of life. And that's how I want to share to everyone. And this fight on Saturday, what our goal is to give the fans enjoyment and satisfaction of our performance and entertain you guys, that you will be happy on Saturday. Both of us, Floyd and I, we work hard. We've been working hard to entertain you on Saturday, to give a good fight on Saturday. But the most important thing, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, nothing personal, but we're just doing our job, we're doing our best on Saturday. You know, I believe that he's going to do his best on Saturday, and I'm going to do my best on Saturday to put our name in boxing history. But the most important thing, I'm hoping that after the fight, we can have a conversation with Floyd, you know, sharing my faith about God, you know, this nothing bad about that, you know, sharing my faith about God, how we need to believe that we can inspire more people, especially those children are looking for us. So, you know, supporting us. So thank you. I hope this fight is going to be not only to entertain people, but to give an inspiration to all the people around the world, and that there is God, you know, there is God that who can raise someone from nothing into something, as Jesus is the name of the Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. God bless.
This next man to the podium, he doesn't need an introduction. He's 11-time world champion in 5 different weight classes. He's originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan. He fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He's the current WBC and WBA welterweight champion. He's won 5 SB Fighter of the Year awards over the past 7 years, one of which was in 2013. Over the course of his career, he's been the Boxing Writers Association of America champion, the Ring Magazine, BET, and Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame have all honored him as Fighter of the Year. He's been named the world highest paid athlete by Forbes magazine, ESPN the magazine, Sports Illustrated, which is truly a testament to his incredible popularity around the world. On May 2nd, he faces a great challenge in Manny Pacquiao. This is the fight that the world has been waiting to see. So without further ado, it gives me great pride to introduce the best fighter in the world, none other than Floyd Mayweather.
And first off, you know, I want to thank God, because without God, all this wouldn't be possible. I want to thank the different media outlets, from around the world. This has been truly an amazing event, an amazing turnout. Training camp has went remarkable. My dad done a tremendous job working with my Uncle Roger Mayweather. We had a great chemistry throughout training camp and the rest of my team. I want to thank all the sponsors that's covering this event. I want to thank the MGM Grand. I want to thank Al Heyman. Of course, Mayweather Promotions, Top Rank Promotions, Freddie Roach. You guys done a tremendous job. And our team done a tremendous job putting this event together. You know, to all the Philippine fans that have supported Manny Pacquiao, you know, thus far, you know, I want to thank you guys. From the fans around the world that's been behind me for the last 19 years, I really want to say thank you. You know, it's time to fight now. You know, you guys came out here to see excitement. You guys came out here to see a great event. And I think that's what both competitors bring to the table, excitement. The biggest fight in boxing history, and I'm a part of it, so that's a great thing, you know. I'm just truly, truly blessed to be where I'm at. I feel good, I feel strong, and I see you guys Saturday. Thank you.
Before we pose the fighters, I'd like to acknowledge none other than Floyd's father, who's a tremendous, tremendous trainer. He oftentimes gets overlooked. He's a great trainer. Floyd. Time to pose the fighters.
All right, these guys are getting ready to face off, and you know, last time they did this, they faced off for, it felt like well over a minute as they stared at each other for a while.
It's a little crowded here on the dais as we look to see them get together again. And here it is, 5.5 years of waiting.
Yeah.
And now we're only 72 hours away, and here the two fighters are.
And again, the interesting thing is once they look at each other face to face, that's going to be the interesting part.
Both guys pretty respectful.
Mhm.
Neither guy really saying very much about the other, to be honest.
Well, we'll interview both fighters, so we'll get them to say something about the other. And you see them, they ask just the two fighters. They'll take more photo ops.
Interesting, you know, Manny. One, and here we go, actually. Here they are,
And
getting
here we
ready
go.
to face off.
Let's take a look.
Manny's never been much of a fan of face-offs, so he's found them kind of silly. He smiled there.
You heard them say this will be the 14th fight for Floyd Mayweather here at the MGM Grand. His 11th straight fight in the Grand Garden Arena. For Pacquiao, his 12th fight here at the MGM Grand.
And as he mentioned, and as I think we'll talk to him, his very first fight in the big time on HBO, right here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, when he really exploded into public consciousness.
Manny Pacquiao's boxing's only 8-division world champion. People have asked about whether there'll be a stoppage. Manny's last stoppage came back in 2009 when he stopped Miguel Cotto in the 12th round. For Floyd Mayweather, his last stoppage came in 2011 when he stopped Victor Ortiz. This is Floyd Mayweather's 13th consecutive fight on pay-per-view. Manny Pacquiao, his 20th pay-per-view fight. And in case you're wondering, Floyd Mayweather, when it comes to championship fights, 24-0, 10 knockouts. All right, pound for pound champ joins me once again. You know, when you look someone in the eye, you can tell a lot. So when you looked in his eye, tell me what you saw.
It's business. You know, it's my job. I've been here before. I know what it takes when it's a fight of this magnitude. And I'm happy just to be a part of this event, you know, the biggest fight in sports history.
Do you see anger? Do you see him scared? What do you see when you look?
I mean, I can't really say. You know, I can't really judge him by how he looks, because he can come out and fight a total different way. So we'll just see how everything plays out Saturday.
You know, so many people are laying down a lot of money for pay-per-view, spend a lot of money to come out here and to see you guys. It's been 5 years on the making. They want an exciting fight. How do you juggle giving the fans excitement yet not being reckless?
We'll just have to see. You know, if you go back, you know, in my archives and check my fights out, I gave people a lot of exciting fights, you know. I wish I could have been a pay-per-view star early on in my career, but I wasn't but it took years and years of hard work, and I'm truly blessed.
This is the first time in a while. You're the bigger guy. I mean, you're going into the fight as the bigger guy. I don't think we've ever seen Manny Pacquiao fight backwards or on that back foot. Is that something you look to exploit to say, hey, look, I'll back him up and see if he can do that?
Well, Manny Pacquiao fights better going backwards. He is a fighter that likes to move backwards and fight. He's a guy, he can't fight as good going forward, but going back, he can fight, extremely good.
Last but not least, I've heard you say, I've won big fights, and I didn't think I was my best. So, will we see the best Floyd Mayweather come Saturday night?
Well, you guys have to buy pay-per-view. You guys that's tuning in right now, if you're at home, buy pay-per-view right now. This is an event that you cannot miss. The biggest fight in boxing history.
So it sounds like you're going to be an exciting fighter, is what you're telling me.
Absolutely. I'm in tip-top condition. I'm pretty sure he's in tip-top shape also.
Best of luck to you, champ.
Thank you.
Always appreciate the time.
Appreciate it.
That's Floyd Mayweather. Again, undefeated 47-0. Looking to keep that O intact as he takes on Manny Pacquiao. We're going to talk with Manny Pacquiao as well and get his thoughts on facing Floyd Mayweather. And again, Kieran, he sounds like a confident guy. I mean, he has been all focused, it seems like, throughout this entire camp. You haven't seen a lot of the money persona. It's just been all business, it seems like.
Yeah, absolutely. But he looked confident. He looked in a good mood. He was smiling. He was happy. He was happy to talk about the specifics of the fight here. And talking of the specifics of the fight, here is the other part of the equation, Manny Pacquiao. Manny, it has been 5 long years. We're now 72 hours away. How are you feeling right now?
I feel excited and ready, relaxed, have peace of mind for the fight.
You've been in so many big fights. Does this feel different, though? Does it feel bigger to you?
It's one of the biggest fight. I consider this fight, and it's a historic fight.
You said you feel very relaxed, you feel at ease. You seem to have been really enjoying yourself in the build-up to this. The commercials have been fun, the Jimmy Kimmel appearances, all of that. You really do seem to have been enjoying yourself.
Yes, I'm enjoying doing this and happy, to fight, especially on Saturday. And finally, this fight is happening, so I'm excited for Saturday.
You've also been very confident. What makes you so confident that you're going to be the first man to beat Floyd Mayweather?
The Lord my God that I'm serving, He will deliver him into my hands on Saturday, and to let them know that there is God.
But at the same time, everyone else thinks you're the underdog. How does that motivate you?
It's motivated me more, and it's helped me a lot and give encouragement to focus. That's why I have, I love to be an underdog.
Finally, as you mentioned, it's been 14 years since you first fought on HBO here at the MGM Grand. Before that, you were sleeping in the streets, fighting in the streets. What has this incredible journey been like for you?
Oh, it's amazing, beyond of my imagination that I can be like this. I cannot imagine that the Lord, He give me these blessings, and it's a promise. If you believe and have faith to the Lord, have relationship to the Lord, all things are possible.
Manny Pacquiao, thank you so much, and best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Best of luck, Manny. There he is, Manny Pacquiao. Good to talk with you. Sounds like he's a confident guy and ready, it seems like, for the big day.
Absolutely. When a guy like Manny, and we'll let Manny go, when you've been in that many fights, when you have that kind of confidence, when you've been to the places that Manny Pacquiao has been, even the biggest fight financially in boxing history, maybe they can both say it's just another fight. We'll see deep down as to whether they really both believe it's just another fight.
All right, lastly, give me your final thoughts here. What you heard today and what we should expect on Saturday.
I still don't know quite what to expect on Saturday. It still seems a little bit unreal, right? We've been waiting for it for so very long. There's still a couple of times where I had to look at these two guys and think, wow, this is actually really happening. And, so far this week, I've had to try to remind myself we're all busy, we're all covering the fight, to kind of take that step back and soak it in a little bit. This is the fight of our generation.
Right.
This is a huge, huge event. And on Sunday, May the 3rd, one fighter is going to emerge as the best fighter of that generation.
It should
we
be
don't
an
know
all,
who it'll be.
Absolutely. It should be an all-action fight that comes your way. And our coverage has just begun because we continue on Friday. Both of the fighters step on the scale, and we will cover it. It's weigh-in live. Mayweather, Pacquiao. It comes your way Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific time. And then that all leads up to the big day. It comes your way on Saturday. An hour before the big fight, it's Countdown Live. Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Interviews from both camps, previews of the big fight. You can see it Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific time. And of course, that all leads up to the big fight. You can call it the Super Bowl of boxing, call it what you want, the biggest fight of this generation. It is live on pay-per-view Saturday, May 2nd, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific time, only on pay-per-view. Now, if you want to get in on the conversation, all you got to do is hit us up on social media. Just make sure you use the hashtag #MayPac and join in on that conversation. Well, that's going to do it. It's been once an exciting day here in Las Vegas for this final press conference. For Kieran Mulvaney, I'm Brian Custer. So long from Las Vegas.
It's time. Two legends. One destiny. All roads end here. Mayweather Pacquiao, May 2nd, live on pay-per-view. Mayweather Pacquiao, Saturday, May 2nd, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, live on pay-per-view.
This has been a long time coming.
The fight of the century.
Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, put up your hands.
This fight is going to come down to heart.
Manny is an aggressive person. He got punches coming from every angle. But Mayweather, he's an artist.
Mayweather's the champion.
I'm going with Team Pac-Man.
Mayweather, 7th round, knockout.
It's always about the money.
Never discount Manny's ability.
Mayweather's gonna win.
Pacquiao.
It's money, man.
Anything can happen.
The biggest fight of all time.
It's gonna be a great fight.
Bow!